Hey guys, Tara here. And today in this video, I really want to talk about, um, this question, there's so much, right? There's so much around this like dystopian society and world, that's coming for us. And it's like heavy and it's bearing down. And, so is this inevitable? Is this world inevitable? And of course, these are my thoughts, my feelings, my intuitions, and you have your own. So, um, you know, take what you will and not what doesn't resonate. So, and also I always have a disclaimer in my YouTube video down below, so check it out. Um, is dystopia inevitable? Hmm. Well, not in my world. I'm already living in a world that's not even a possibility. I mean, is it a possibility that certain things are going to happen and, in the system that would affect me? Sure, sure. But I will have a response from that comes from my deep knowing, my deep connection with the divine, knowing that I'm always okay and safe and there's always a remedy. There's always, just like in natural law and our sovereignty practices, there's always a remedy, right? The remedy I currently think is like your best remedy chance for not for everything. It's not useful for everything, but equity, right? And also asset protection through trust. I'll say that. And I am starting a trust class soon. So if you want more information on that, just email me. Information is below. But so that's my point, though. We get to create, um, the things that we know are going to support us. Of course, we all know the local, stay local, be local, go local, have a community locally. And if you don't, it's okay. Don't like, even if you don't, like, it's okay. Like, know that you are taken care of, that you're guided, that you're loved, that you're safe, no matter what happens, no matter, and whatever that means, just if you can just feel that in your body and that grounding and that knowing that you are just taken care of and provided for. The divine is your source for all, right? And when you give it up to whatever you want to call it, divine source, God, pure love, whatever that is for you, um, you're not flailing around on your own out here unless you want to be. But you are supported, right? And so your world, your outer will reflect your inner. So your world is going to be whatever it's not just about think positive, that's not what I'm saying. It's not, I understand that it's not that simple. And, this could get into a very deep philosophical conversation here, which wasn't my intention. But I guess what I really wanted to share was like, be really mindful and intentional of everything in your life. What are you speaking, right? Words are spells. So what are you speaking? What are you writing? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you talking about with others? What do you talk about to yourself? What's your, all of it. What do you eat? What do it doesn't mean we're going to be perfect or we have to be perfect. There is no perfection. That's the whole point of being human. It's not in the cards for us to be perfect. And if you haven't figured that out yet, here's your sign. If you're looking for perfection in any way, you can let that go and just be free to know that the perfection is in the imperfection, right? Of being in this beautiful, fallible self, as a human being, as a man or a woman. So, but yeah, it's like, I all of these things in our society and our culture, even if it's not necessarily, like most of you here who are into natural law and all and the sovereignty practices and stuff, you're like, okay, so you're on board with like taxes are, theft and et cetera, et cetera. But what about violent movies? Like, what does that what images does that put in you and then ripple out in the world? For example, and this is not a judgment or saying, again, that there's any perfection, but just, and what about like the hypersexualized culture that we live in, that and the violence and the substance use and abuse and all of that, it's there to just like the so-called, government and all the coercion that goes on there. This is a coercion of a different kind because you don't even know it's happening. Most people, eating crap food and, just watching porn or whatever it is. It's like, oh, that's totally fine. It's just normal. It's just what we do. We go out for drinks, and get, wasted or whatever. Um, all of that is is feeding, it's feeding on you. Like it's a succubus, it's a succubi, it's like a parasite. It's and not the good kind. But that keeps these low, very low energies, low vibrations. It keeps them going. It just keeps them going, right? So even if you're like, yeah, I freedom, I want freedom, I want all the things, and I want to be healthy. There anything? And again, this isn't a judgment. It's just a discernment call. It's a being honest with yourself call. Like, is there anything in my life that I'm doing that I know maybe isn't serving, me or the whole? And maybe it's something you don't even realize yet, that you're like watching something, you're like, oh my God, why am I watching this? You know, or reading this or listening to this. Of course, there's a lot of fear porn around this kind of thing. Like, we're all going to be, slaves and robots and dystopia and transhumanism and the, digital currency, all the things, right, that are just like, and you can just be like, oh my God, what? So it's, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Honestly, how, this is hard to say without sounding like, you know, an Amish person, and I'm not nothing against the Amish people, but like, how pure do you want your system to be? Your body, your energetic systems, like how pure, meaning clean. It's not muddied or dirty with, energies that are not of the light, if you will. How muddy, dirty slash clean and pure do you want your system to be? And so just being aware of it, it doesn't, again, there's no perfection, but like, this is the time to really, really be aware of all these things because there is an escalator, that's leaving all of that, the low, dark energies over here, and we're like, okay, and that doesn't mean that there's going to be some utopia where nobody ever suffers anymore. I don't believe. I believe as long as we're human, we will have suffering. We will have the darkness and the light. That's part of, the yin and the yang. That's one of the seven hermetic principles. It's part of the nature and natural law, right? So it's not like we're ever going to be able to escape that. And yeah, it's just to be discerning about what, images are so powerful too. So what images are you allowing into your system? Yeah, just a friendly reminder to just check in. So dystopia is not an inevitability for you if you don't want it to be. Be well.